Hola, bienvenidos. Hello and welcome. Welcome to HCC Dale Mabry's Hispanic Heritage Celebration. As a Cuban American and a daughter of immigrants, I am proud to share our rich and cultural event with you. It's going to be a wonderful afternoon.
Good morning. My name is Odette Figuerello and I am faculty member here at HCC Del Mabry campus. And I'm also the chair of the committee which every year plans this celebration for you. This year is a virtual one. Spanish is the second language most spoken in the world. The United States is now considered to be the second largest Spanish-speaking country in the world after Mexico, with more than 60 million people who speak Spanish. Here at the Del Mabry campus, about 34% of the student body is Hispanic. Each year, Americans observe the National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th. By celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and countries in South America where Spanish is spoken. We also honor the immigrants from any of those 21 Spanish-speaking countries who have made the U.S. their home. Here is some interesting trivia for you. Did you know that the observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting from September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into a law on August 17, 1988. The date of September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of the independence of many Latin American countries. Other countries celebrate their independence in the month of September as well. Also, Columbus Day or Dia de la Raza, which is October 12, falls within the 30-day period. The history of Tampa Hispanic heritage is unique, and we should be proud of that. Spaniards, Cubans, along with Italians, created Ybor City. Mr. Vicente Ybor, a Spaniard who traveled to Cuba in the late 1800s and married a Cuban woman, brought to Tampa the secret way that Cubans grew tobacco leaves and rolled cigars. This became the main industry in Tampa at that time. With the cigar industry also came food, music, and other cultural components that make Tampa a very special and diverse city. Today, we celebrate a rich Hispanic heritage here at HCC Del Mabry campus. So please stay tuned.
Bienvenidos a mi gente! Well, hello everyone and welcome to HCC's Hispanic Heritage Festival. My name is Nick Torres. I'm the SGA Treasurer here at the Dale Mabry campus. Now let's hear a word from our other HCC family members on what Hispanic heritage means to them.
Probably have to say just the general positivity from the Hispanic cultures that I know of today. Everything from their food to dance to just the way they tell stories. I love just the positivity that Hispanic culture has.
Well, you know, I've been around Hispanic culture all my life because I was raised in Florida. So I was in elementary school when the Cuban invasion happened, when the revolution happened, and we ended up with about 2 million Cubans coming into the state of Florida. And so, you know, at that age, suddenly I knew a lot of Latinos, particularly Cuban Americans. So it was a remarkable thing. Florida had been kind of a rural state until then. a couple of medium-sized cities, and then mostly white and African American. And then suddenly, wow, there were these cool people who were coming. They had marvelous music. They had a different culture. They spoke with an accent. It was like to a boy raised in a little town in North Florida. It was a heck of an experience, and it's kind of one I never forgot. I've been through most of Latin America. When I was young, it was by backpack, and as I got older, it became by airplane. And of course, I'm married to a Colombian, and so I've got my family in Colombia, which are the closest thing. I have no brothers or sisters, so they're the closest thing that I have. 6 of them, and so it's Latin culture has sort of surrounded my life more and more and more every year, as it has our state. I mean, Hillsborough County, when I came here 13 years ago, had a growing Latin population. Now you can see that it's going to reach 50% and more in the near future. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing. It's marvelous to watch our county diversify and get the benefit of the expertise and the language and the culture of Latin America.
Well, to be honest, what I love about Hispanic culture is that we love making ourselves feel like home. When we go to a new place, we make the environment it could be also a good thing and also a bad thing. Because sometimes if you don't feel the group around you is not that type of group, then it can become a little bit awkward. But I mean, it's fun to see how we can just be ourselves around strangers.
I love how, I guess I can say how happy we are, even when we're in we have problems or troubles, we're still happy.
I love the flair that the Hispanic culture brings with the different colors of their outfits and the dancing, along with all the different artistic things that their culture brings to to America, and how it helps us with diversifying and finding basically new ways to explore our artistic ways. So I love that.
The food, the colors, and the dancing, it all just kind of blends together. It's something I really enjoy.
Well, I can say from the perspective of being Mexican American, when I visited Mexico, when you go to someone's house, the first thing that is offered to you is water and food, no matter where you go. And if it's not offered to you, people tend to call those people, maleducados. And I think that type of humbleness towards your guests in your household, I think is a very good quality that many Hispanics hold.
I love the diversity of our people. I love the music. I love the food. I love everything.
Part of my favorite bit of Hispanic culture is I love the music. I really do. I grew up, my dad would play Carlos Santana's music growing up as a child, and I've tried to explore as much as I can, specifically moving down from Vermont to Florida.
I really like the language. I like that we're so different. I like that each of the cultures are spread out throughout Latin America, and there's something special about each of us.
When it comes to Hispanic culture, I must say that music is my favorite aspect of it. I love the different varieties and the rhythmic complexities.
Specifically, gosh, there's a couple things. I think the history of the culture. I'm half Dominican, so I've learned a lot about Dominican history and my ancestors and such. I think the family aspect of the culture. I think they keep things very tight knit, very close knit. Family is very important. But there's so many other things, about the culture, the arts, the foods, stuff like that. But what's most impressive to me is how family oriented it is.
One thing I really like about Hispanic culture and actively enjoy has to be the food. that's always like one of the main things. And the next thing would always be just like the sense of family and the sense of having like a very strong shoulder with you, and that's what I feel family is like a really big important thing about it.
Bueno, para mí una cama que me gusta de la cultura hispana, soy un hispano orgulloso, porque para mí la cultura hispana en mi corazón la llevo en grande como puertorriqueño que soy. Me gusta la fiesta, la cultura familiar y la comida y sobre todo ser hispano.
Hi, this is Ivan Mesa, Chair of the HCC Hispanic and Latino Advisory Committee, and also board member of Tampa Hispanic Heritage, Inc. Did you know that Hispanic consumers in the United States control a total of $1.5 trillion in buying power, up 212% this decade, according to the Center for Economic Growth at the University of Georgia? If you are a marketer looking to grow your brand, please repeat after me: $1.5 trillion, 212% growth. Again, $1.5 trillion, 212% growth. These figures alone should lead you to take a hard look to the Hispanic market to drive growth today. Right now, Hispanics account for 1 out of every 6 Americans, and the aggregate buying power is larger than the GDP of Australia. Hispanic fact.
Yeah, baby. Music and dance is an integral part to the Hispanic culture. And here at HCC, we have one of our very own doing the dances for us. Here is Emily Mazzotti.
Debajo de la portada me gusta verte pasar. Me gusta verte pasar. Debajo de la portada me gusta verte pasar. Debajo de la portada me gusta verte pasar. Me gusta verte pasar. Cuando vas tan ataviada, gitana por el real. Cuando vas tan ataviada, gitana por el real. Me gusta mujer con tu traje de gitana, me gusta mucho mujer, porque bailando pareces de Triana y hueles a clave. Me gusta verte chiquilla en una tarde de abril, en una tarde de abril. Me gusta verte chiquilla en una tarde de abril. Me gusta verte chiquilla en una tarde de abril. En una tarde de abril, en los toros de Mantilla viendo al primero salir. En los toros de Mantilla viendo al primero salir. Me gusta mujer con tu traje de gitana, me gusta mucho mujer, porque bailando pareces de Triana y hueles a clave. En mi caseta morena me gusta verte bailar. Me gusta verte bailar. En mi caseta morena me gusta verte bailar. En mi caseta morena me gusta verte bailar. Me gusta verte bailar. Y se me olvidan las penas cuando te escucho cantar. Y se me olvidan las penas cuando te escucho cantar. Me gusta mujer con tu traje de gitana, me gusta mucho mujer, porque bailando pareces de Triana y hueles a clave. Me gusta verte a caballo al pie del Guadalquivir, al pie del Guadalquivir. Me gusta verte a caballo al pie del Guadalquivir. Me gusta verte a caballo al pie del Guadalquivir, al pie del Guadalquivir, y en los finales de mayo camino de la Jolí, y en los finales de mayo camino de la Jolí. Me gusta mujer con tu traje de gusta mucho, mujer, porque bailando pareces de Triana y hueles a clave.
Flamenco, original from southern of Spain. It's very, very well known for all the intensity of the emotions, the footwork, happiness and loneliness as well. It's a diversity and mix of cultures and traditions. What I just did was a small piece of Sevillana dance. This dance is very popular in Seville. Even there is an annual fair that everybody get together to dance together, to drink wine, and have fun all day long for a week. So the main components of flamenco, as you see, is the dance, first, dancer, a singer, a guitarist, and someone very special who accompany the rhythm. It's who do the claps that we call palmas. So let's do the palmas. I will teach you right now how to do the palmas. We have two main sounds for do the claps. This hand and the other hand. You do this. It's a sharp, a brilliant sound. I don't do this with both hands. I do it with one hand if you are left or right-handed, and the other doesn't move. And you have to discover that sound here, like this a small box in your palm. And we have the other sound. It's a deep sound. Both hands make like a small boxes here, and you found the deep sound. Now, how to do the clap for Sevillana dance? Sevillana dance have this rhythm: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Naturally, I mark my feet because that's the stronger beat, and we do like this. That's when people accompany the Sevillana dance. So sometimes we don't have the guitarist. There is not a singer. So we do the claps and we just dance. So I invite you all to join me to the flamenco wonderful experience with me at the classes at the West Tampa Dance Company every Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. So let's dance. Thank you.
Me gusta verte a caballo al pie del Guadalquivir. Al pie del Guadalquivir. Me gusta verte a caballo al pie del Guadalquivir. Me gusta verte a caballo al pie del Guadalquivir.
Like I said, I grew up listening to Carlos Santana. I really enjoyed his music. I've tried to get into reggaeton a little bit more, as well as some bachata. But when I'm really feeling like I need to be in a peaceful mood, I'll throw in some Santana.
Probably going to have to say, God, it's a really long list. Celia Cruz and Rafael de España were really big names in the house. Ruby Perez, Jose Jose. My mom played a lot of, the old classics, so grew up listening to a lot of them.
I like reading a lot. Neruda. And I like reading, listening to Mana, Morad, even Buena Fe, that's a Cuban group. And I like those.
I have several, but Willie Chirino and Mark Anthony top the list. In addition, I love Alina Izquierdo. She's relatively new here in the United States, but she has a golden voice very similar to the voice of our beloved Celia Cruz.
Yeah, I would pick Los Tigres del Norte because they're a music group that has spoken and been the voice for immigrants in this country, and not just the immigrants in the United States, but immigrants in other countries. So Guatemalans in Mexico, Hondurans in Guatemala, so on and so forth. They've been a really good voice, and they've been very vocal about it. and very open about their views, and I think that is very respectable. They speak about the common struggle of not just the immigrants here in the United States, but the children of those immigrants and how we live. And they've been a very, very influential musicians in my lifetime and in other people's lives.
I know there's a lot out there that I'm not thinking of. I like Penelope Cruz. I grew up listening to, in the household, Julio Iglesias, because my mother just couldn't hear enough of him. So I have fond memories of listening to his music in our house. Javier Bardem, I think, is a great actor. There's others, I just cannot think of them right now.
Oh, there's so many. I love to dance, so I love just salsa music. I love to merengue. I love the African roots to our music.
You know, I started very young age again, being exposed to people like Celia Cruz. I mean that's history. Even before that, my mom used to listen to Xavier Cugat, who nobody knows now, but who brought Latin music to America. And then kind of Tito Fuente, the king of the tambolas, but recently, I've been influenced a lot by my wife because she listens to music constantly, and I've just become a huge Shakira fan. I mean, you can't go to Colombia a couple of times a year and not become a huge Shakira fan. She kept trying to move me in that direction, and I, this is a little too different for me, a little too young for me. And then at the South African Olympics, I saw her perform Waka Waka, and it was just okay. I'm done. I'm done. The argument is that she's as much, I guess, Turkish or Lebanese as she is Colombian, but that's not true. She's ripped. She had one grandfather that was Lebanese. She's really Colombian. She's spectacular. Little bands. We listen to Daddy Yankee. One of my favorite songs of the last few years is Mi Niña Bonita, Chino Nacho. So it's just a lot of stuff. I live in a Latin household. The wife always dominates the culture. So I listen to a lot of it. I don't even know what I'm listening to, I live with salsa in the background. And of course, if any Colombian listens to this, they're going to say, well, he didn't mention cumbia. Of course, cumbia. I even dance a little cumbia very badly.
It took me a few minutes to think of an answer for this one, but I think I'm going to have to go with Gloria Estefan. I did a paper years and years ago when I was in the 3rd grade. I did I read a little paper, a picture book with her in it, and I had to do a 1-page paper on her, and I never forgot her, and I've been listening to her music ever since.
Bueno, tengo varios, pero uno de los más orgullos que tenemos como te vuelvo a explicar, como hispano y como puertorriqueño, es el señor Roberto Clemente.
I grew up in a really old Cuban household, so I guess one of my old-time favorites would be Celia Cruz. I remember waking up in the mornings on the Saturdays or Sundays at 5 or 6 in the morning listening to Celia Cruz blasting in my house at the crack of dawn, as well as with the smell of Fabuloso all over the place.
Yes, Jennifer Lopez first. Childhood crush. Don't put that on there. Edit that out. No, I do. Let me see. No, seriously. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez. She's a great artist. She's a great actor. She's very well-rounded. So, she's one of my favorites.
Probably say anything salsa.
I really like Rubén Darío. That's Rubén Darío. It's one of the world famous poets from my country, from Nicaragua. He has a famous collection of poems, which is Azul. And if you haven't known about him, I do recommend that you check it out.
Food is one of the most important parts to any culture around the world. In the Hispanic culture, we have many dishes, many ingredients, and many recipes that help bring us all together. Today we have two of our very own members of HCC teaching us how to create some of the dishes that we have.
Hello everybody! If a friend invites you to a barbecue, what would you expect to have? A cheeseburger, hot dogs, macaroni salad, those type of things. But if you're in Argentina, what do you have? You will have steak grilled with only salt and pepper, some bread like French baguette, and red wine. All these accompanied with chimichurri, which is a very, very typical Argentinian sauce. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do today. All right, so all we need is a food processor, one bunch of flat leaf parsley. Take the leaves, put them in, chop between 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons of red onion, chop coarsely 8 garlic cloves, pour in 3/4 cups of olive oil, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of ground pepper, and a little squirt of lemon juice. You put it all in here, and then you start your food processor and just process it until it has the texture that you want. And then you pour it into a jar like this, and there you go. This is your chimichurri sauce that would go on top of your beautiful grilled steak. Thank you. Bye.
Do you know that according to the U.S. Census Bureau, nearly 61 million Hispanic Americans live in the United States, the nation's largest minority ethnic group, with more than 5 million living in Florida and over 430,000 in Hillsborough County, nearly 30% of the county's population. Hispanic fact.
Hello everybody, my name is Valerie. I'm from the Dental Hygiene program and I'm from Puerto Rico. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do the traditional mofongo from Puerto Rico. All you're going to need for that is garlic, adobo goja, and plantain. You're going to put the oil to heat on a pan, like so. While that's heating, you're going to cut the plantain into circles like this. When you finish cutting, the oil should be hot. When you hear the oil heating, you're going to take the slices of plantain that you have, put it here, and we add it carefully to the oil. When the plantain go up and they're golden, that's when you know it's already done, it's ready to take out. While the plantains are cooking, you're gonna prepare a bowl. You're gonna choose a bowl that is round. The mofongo is gonna take the form of the bowl you're gonna use. So inside the bowl, you're gonna put adobo. We're gonna add adobo to the bowl. You add adobo to the bowl a little bit. You don't want it to be salty. And you're gonna put 2 garlics, depending on how you like it. Once the plantains are at the top and you see they have a golden color, you're gonna take them. Once everything's together, you smash everything. Once you smash everything together, you're going to put it on a plate and it should look like this.
Rice and beans. It could be, I started out loving red kidney beans and white rice. And then I moved to Florida and it became black beans and yellow rice. But really, it's any combination of rice and beans.
Oh, my favorite Hispanic food dish, it has to be burritos. I love burritos. Like tacos are a very close second, but burritos number one.
I really enjoy paella. When properly done, make sure the rice isn't crunchy, and you got the right mix of seafood and maybe a little chorizo in there as well. Yes.
Anything Cuban, because I'm Cuban, so.
Como buen latino me gusta toda, pero como puertorriqueño, el arroz con gandules, el lechón, los pasteles, la morcilla, el coquito, etc.
So growing up in a Dominican household, it'd probably be a three-way tie between mangú, maduros, and sancocho.
I love arroz a la valenciana.
Well, let me tell you that I love tamales and stuffed tostones.
Ooh, see, I'm Mexican, so there is like a wide variety of food to choose from. But if I had to pick one, I'd say tacos, because it's just something I've eaten all my life, and it's something that can be combined with just about any type of meat, any type of vegetables and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd pick tacos.
My favorite dish, it has to be yuca con gris. It's a very kind of typical Cuban dish, but it's good.
Okay. How long is the list?
Yes.
Favorite Hispanic food? All of it.
All of it.
I don't know too many, but the one off the top of my head is picadillo. I've had it a couple different ways, but I do have a personal favorite from someone very close to me.
Well, see, mine's are going to be Colombian, so it's probably sancocho and areaco, which are soups. Sancocho has the full potatoes and vegetables in the soup, and areaco chops them up. Essentially the same thing, but with different spices. I don't eat a lot of meat, so I love tostones. I love yuca frita. I just love the vegetables and the soups of Colombia. My brother-in-law occasionally gets me out to eat chicharron and drink some cerveza, but I'm not much of a meat eater, which is really unusual in Colombia.
It's pernil or pork shoulder. My dad always makes it for the holidays, and it's been something that he's passed down to me that I kind of know how to do myself. It's something that I really love.
My favorite Hispanic food dish, since I'm from Peru, it has to be arroz chaufa, or fried rice.
My favorite dish, because I'm Cuban, is ropa vieja, and it is absolutely one of the best dishes ever, and my grandmother hands down makes the best ropa vieja. That, as well as her arroz con pollo, she doesn't make it dry, she makes it wet, so it just adds that little bit of flavor to it.
It is my pleasure to invite the HCC community to participate in our HCC Hispanic and Latino Advisory Committee, HCC HLAC. Our mission is to serve as a liaison between HCC and the Hispanic and Latino students, employees, and community. We want to bring opportunities such as scholarships, internships, and networking to our HCC community, and help to expose HCC to the community at large. Everybody is welcome, students and employees across the HCC. Everybody is included. Those who identify with the Hispanic and Latino community, those who may like to advocate for Hispanic and Latinos, and also those who just enjoy the Hispanic and Latino cultures. Join us, become an active and engaged member of this committee. You can find additional information on our SharePoint site on the intranet. Students can find us under the Student Life tab, and employees will find us under the College-wide Information tab under the Committee options. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Gracias. Que tengan un día maravilloso.
Hi, everybody. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the members in the committee who worked together to put this virtual celebration for you. I also want to thank SGA for always sponsoring our celebration, and also much gratitude for all the participants in the celebration. Muchas gracias.